In a quiet suburban neighborhood, there lived a man named Bob. He was known for his laziness. Bob's days were spent lounging on his worn-out couch, surrounded by the remnants of countless snack wrappers and an ever-growing collection of dust. One day, Rose, a compassionate neighbor who had known Bob for years, decided it was time to intervene. Concerned for his well-being, she approached Bob with enthusiasm. "Bob, it's a beautiful day. You should get out there and enjoy the sunshine." "It's never too late," Rose urged, her eyes filled with genuine concern. Bob, with a dismissive wave, mumbled, Yeah, I'll do it later, maybe." Rose, hopeful but skeptical, left, giving him a chance to redeem himself. The next day, Rose spotted Bob once again glued to his couch. "Bob, remember what we talked about? It's time to enjoy the outdoors," she reminded him, trying to reignite the spark of motivation she believed he possessed. Bob, with a half-hearted nod, assured her, "Absolutely, Rose. I'm on it." Yet, as the days passed, Bob's promises remained unfulfilled. Rose's encouragement began to wane as she witnessed the same scene repeat itself. Frustrated but undeterred, Rose enlisted the help of another concerned neighbor, Mr. Thompson. Together, they hatched a plan to push Bob out of his comfort zone. "Bob, we've found a great networking event happening this weekend. It's a perfect opportunity for you to meet new people and explore potential avenues," Mr. Thompson suggested, hoping this would be the catalyst for change. Bob, initially reluctant, gave in to the pressure, agreeing to attend the event. However, when the day arrived, Rose and Mr. Thompson were met with disappointment as Bob was nowhere to be found. Bob decided to skip the networking event. Instead, he spent the day at home, engrossed in a book and catching up on his favorite TV series, opting for the comfort of his familiar routine over the opportunity to meet new people and explore potential avenues. "He promised, but I should have known better," Rose sighed, shaking her head. Mr. Thompson, equally disheartened, agreed that Bob's laziness seemed unstoppable. As the weeks passed, the neighborhood's collective concern for Bob began to wane. Promises of change had become empty words, and the once eager neighbors no longer believed in Bob's ability to break free from his slothful habits. Bob's isolation deepened as his neighbors gradually distanced themselves. Nobody would come to visit Bob. The once friendly community had exhausted its efforts to help a man who seemed determined to remain in his state. In the quiet of his home, Bob for the first time began to feel lonely. He reflected on the consequences of his laziness. A feeling of loneliness and sorrow crept in as he realized he had pushed away the very people who genuinely cared about his well-being. The once vibrant community now felt like a distant memory, and Bob had only himself to blame. As the days turned into months, Bob found himself in a solitary existence, surrounded by the echoes of broken promises and missed opportunities. The neighborhood had moved on, leaving Bob to confront the consequences of his own actions. Bob realized the well-intentioned efforts to help him were in vain because he was not willing to help himself. Despite the harsh reality sinking in, Bob decided it was time to break free from the chains of his self-imposed isolation. He reached out to old friends and family, mending broken relationships with sincerity and a commitment to change. Bob enrolled in community programs, volunteering his time to give back to those who had once tried to help him.